so let's get into it. So here we have, this was updated today, came home, took a little nap, hopped on Steam, pulled up the Warthunder page, and there was like 4 updates. There's also some planned battle rating changes, maybe we'll go over that too. See what I think that's only for realistic though, or I think it's only going to affect realistic. They're changing it around because apparently there was some oversight where top tier aircraft were fighting like 9.7s, which is kind of a crazy oversight, but hey, it's Warthunder. I also don't play realistic ever. It's something I really want to get into. Anyway, let's get into this repair factory event. So for people who are unaware, I believe there's 2 different kinds of events like this in War Thunder. There's the winter and summer event, I believe, which are different. This is a crafting event, so for this one, whereas for the winter and summer, those events rely on strictly mission score, and you have to get a certain amount of mission score, and you don't have to do anything else. Once you get that mission score, you get a mark of distinction, and once you get X amount of marks of distinction, I think it's 8, you get whatever the vehicle or whatever you want, and then if you get 10 marks of distinction, you get some sort of upgrade to turn that into a sellable item. Now, for this event, this is a crafting event, so this is going to require, you're going to be getting, same thing, you're going to be getting mission score, but that mission score is going to go towards getting you items, and you're going to be, let's pull it up here, let's scroll down, they probably have a picture over here, yep, here it is. So, once you get mission score, okay, so if you hit 2500 mission score, you're going to be getting one of these. You're going to be getting a materials, and this is like a little crate. You're going to unbox this, and it's going to give you between 2 to 4 maybe items, and each of these items you're going to need to construct parts. Now these parts are going to be used for building an item. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's a mech suit, if I remember correctly. You're going to be like reassembling and repairing mech suits, and with those mech suits, it's okay. Yeah, so each box is going to contain 3 to 6 of these items, and you can get like different amounts. Usually, if you get like less materials, you'll get more of each one, and vice versa. And you're going to be using these materials to repair all that, and you're also going to be getting crate modules for every 7,500 mission score. That's actually not too bad. The last crafting event I played, you had to get rolls of tape, and they were like, I think it was like 15,000, or maybe a little bit less, between like 12 to 15,000 for, or no, it was pieces of tape. Okay, now in these crafting events, in this one specifically, you're going to be getting crates of materials, and these crates will contain 3 to 6 materials. The materials are gonna vary. There's probably, I think, usually 5 different kinds of materials for you to use, and you're going to be using them to repair and to reassemble, I believe they're mech suits from this April Fool's event, like the soldiers' mech suits. So you're going to be, there's a certain amount of these you can get every day, and you earn them by getting 2,500 mission scores. Actually, let's take a quick peek. I was just reading something on Reddit where people were commenting how many. Okay, 75,000, I guess, mission score per day is the maximum amount of allowed mission score for you to get each one of these. So let's see real quick. Let's do some quick maths. That will be 30 of these material crates a day, and you're gonna get a decent amount of, or I don't know if it's a day or every 2 days, but anyway, you're gonna get a decent amount of these every day if you play the whole thing, which I would. I know it sucks. This is going to be a soul-crushing grind. It's going to hurt. It's probably going to require more time than it should. But anyway, you can get 30 of these crates a day with materials. That'll give you enough to assemble a whole bunch. And then with the crate modules, that's 7,500 mission score. You're going to be able to get 10 of these crate modules a day. You're going to use these crate modules to assemble them into crates so that when you finish constructing and repairing whatever you're making with the materials, you're going to be able to ship these crates, and you're going to get a certificate of some kind. And if you get 3 of those certificates, you can exchange those at the end of the event, or as soon as you get all 3 of them, you can exchange them for the event vehicles, which you can then sell on the market. Also, another little tidbit or piece of information to know is these upgrade kits. Every time you place first in a match, you're able to use these toolkits to upgrade. I don't know exactly what you can apply them to, but you can use them for like construction time. So if you construct these, I don't know how long, it probably takes at least a few hours to put these like crate modules together to assemble them. If you were to use one of these toolkits, it'll cut that time like in half or something like that. So I mean, if you play the whole event, you're gonna be waiting like a day anyway to keep going, so maybe just assembling everything at the end of the day once you get it is the way to go. Maybe not for the materials, because that's a whole bunch of little stuff. I think they take about 10 minutes each to put together, but for some of the bigger things that can take hours to put together, maybe save a few of these and that'll make that a little bit easier. Okay, there's not going to be any cooldown, or there's not going to be any waiting period for when you can obtain them, and I don't see anything on here about having to wait until a certain date to sell them. Looks like you can just sell them immediately. My recommendation would be to try to get them as quickly as possible if you plan on selling them. If you don't plan on selling them, who cares? Take your time and don't kill yourself. But if you're planning on selling them like I want to, I would try to get it as quickly as possible, because the faster you get it up on the market, the better the price you're going to get initially. If you are unable to do that and you're getting a coupon to sell, if the price is too low, I think I sold my Jaguar for about $55 because I got in there early when I sold the plane, and I think most people were still asking for like $60 or $70 at that time. 55 for an event vehicle is good, so I sold mine for about 55. Gaijin got whatever they got, but I sold mine for about $55. Okay, now it looks like there are going to be boosts too, and it sucks if you're in. Disclaimer, if you're unaware, if you're a PlayStation or Xbox player, you do not have access to the market. So you cannot play this event to sell the plane, to get Gaijin coin, to buy premiums or golden eagles or whatever. You don't have access to that market, so if you're thinking about playing it to do that and you're on console, you cannot do that because you do not have access to the marketplace. That being said, it looks like you can use golden eagles to buy things that'll make the grind go a little bit faster. And this is exclusively for PlayStation and Xbox, so if you're on PC, you will not find these. Okay, so this is what we were talking about before. You're going to be able to get up to 30 boxes of materials a day, and 300 for the entire event. 10 crate modules a day, 80 for the whole event, and up to 300 factory upgrade toolkits. This is another thing to keep in mind. I don't know exactly what the multiplier is, but usually, I believe, the higher the battle rating you're playing, the more the multiplier will be. So whatever your mission score is, counting towards you getting these materials, the higher battle, usually, generally speaking, I believe, the higher the battle rating you're playing, the more the multiplier is going to be, the easier it's going to be to get these materials. And also, as usual, these things are going to be given out till the 17th of April, but you will have a few extra days to assemble them, put them together, and get yourself one of these vehicles. So on the 17th of April, the materials will stop being dropped, but you can trade for materials on the market still until the 24th of April. Okay, now we're going to talk about some of the rewards for the event. As usual, there's one low tier. The AMD 35 here is the low tier reward. Usually very easy to get. I don't know what one acceptance certificate, so I mean, if you really want to get it, you can. I forget what. I don't think I got whatever the one for the Jaguar event was. I got or maybe I did get the PO2. Oh no, you know what? I did not get the PO2. But for the winter event, I got whatever that was because you just gave it to you along the way. I got the airplane, the D whatever. I think the French plane. I think it was a French plane. Along the way towards getting the Tornado, because it was just there. But if you're interested in this is a relatively easy thing to get. You have a lot of time to just get one certificate, so if that's your thing, go ahead and do that. Now, for the other rewards, you're going to need 3 acceptance certificates, so you're going to have to be playing a lot more. In my opinion, and you can crucify me after the event if this isn't how things turn out, but out of the 3 top tier rewards. The naval, ground, and air reward. I am going to place my money on the A7K being the top earner in terms of selling it as a coupon. You can use aircraft in ground, and I believe naval battles. I'm sorry for anybody who plays naval. I know very little about it. I've played it once or twice, but I believe you can use aircraft in naval battles as well. This aircraft comes equipped with a lot of... This is a strike aircraft. It's not supersonic, it's subsonic. So heat-seeking missiles are much harder to... It's a lot easier to dodge heat seekers with this plane because it doesn't have a giant fire shooting at the back of the plane. So those are... Now that's a big selling point there for this plane. Those are Mavericks, I believe. So those are guided missiles, ground strike missiles. I don't play a lot of top tier, so I've never used Mavericks in ground realistic battles, but I imagine that they are desirable missiles because they are... I've seen plenty of clips of people using them in Warthunder on the subreddit, and it's a desirable thing to have for top tier, and I think this is the highest tier vehicle that's coming out of this event. Okay, so we're looking at some of the ordnance it can carry here. I saw gun pods on there. I imagine they'll probably be 30 millimeter. I imagine they'll probably be 30 millimeter gun pods. Looks like it can carry 2 of them. 4 GBU-8 guided bombs. 6 of those Maverick missiles, which we just saw it firing off. It also I don't know if you equip it or if it just comes with it internally, but it has a thermal imager for locking said missiles, which is a nice thing to have. Fire bombs, the cannon pods, and AIM-9Ls, which are good missiles. The AIM-9L is an excellent missile. It's in all aspects, so that's good to see on the plane there. All in all, I think that the A7K is going to be the... I think that the selling points of the A7K and its like versatility in terms of being able to play it on naval, ground, and air, or simulator, or whatever. I think that you're going to get the most... If you plan on selling an event vehicle, I would go for this one because I think you're going to get the most out of this one. People tend to like the ground strike vehicles, the strike aircraft, and this thing definitely has a... The selling point is there in my mind. This is the best that you're going to get out of this event if you're planning on selling something. Alright, now we'll go over the ground ground vehicle reward, which is the QN506. This is a Chinese vehicle. Looks like it has an autocannon. I think it has 2 different kinds of missiles on it. Smokes there, you can see. Okay, so there's no crew up here in the turret. So even though it has a high profile, the survivability might be a little bit better because there's no crew up there to get knocked out if you get shot. 2 types of missiles, including fire and forget. So I guess that there is a, maybe a lockable missile. Yep. So the crew is located. They're all located in the hole down here. So you can essentially just peek stuff with this turret and not have to worry about your crew getting knocked out. Makes it a little bit easier to repair. And that's nice with the rockets up there too. It has a 30 millimeter autocannon, 200 rounds. I'm not too familiar with the autocannons, but I know that they are... I assume this will probably be a faster vehicle. This will probably be a quick moving one. And my play style in ground battles is definitely like centered around moving quickly and lots of firepower. So this looks like, if you like that playstyle, this looks like something that you might enjoy. Okay, so I don't know what fire and forget means. I guess that means you don't have control over the missile once you launch it. So I don't know how I feel about that. I would like to be able to, guide the missile I'm shooting at tanks. You're going to get 4 of those. And so these are the main anti-tank weapons here, and you're also going to get 20 of these multi-purpose missiles. They're a lot smaller, it says here, and the penetration value isn't great, but you can take 20 of them. So Ideally, this thing looks like it would be a good flanker if you were hitting tanks from the side or getting behind targets that are stationary and not moving, since I don't know if you can guide the missiles or not, but this looks like it would be a good vehicle for somebody who likes to play a flanker role. Not sure how this is going to do in terms of selling, but I think what my notice, or what I've noticed trend-wise during the events, is that usually you find that the aircraft is usually worth more than the ground vehicle. And the naval one I know nothing about, so although I feel like I usually do see it competing with the aircraft for a better price. So just something to keep in mind there. And now to speak about something that I have no right to speak about because I know nothing about it. The light cruiser is the prize, the naval prize for the event if you want to craft it. Rank 5. I think there's like 6 ranks in. I think there's 6 ranks in naval. I might be probably am completely wrong about that. You get 4 of these big old cannons to fuck up other ships. 152 millimeters. I don't know if that's good, but people who care about this will know. So, 4 of those batteries, you're gonna get improved AA. I think there's 6 AA gun nests, and I think they're quadruple AA nests on the ship. Here they are. You can kind of see them here. They're quadruple cannons. I think they're 40 millimeter anti-aircraft cannons, and you get 6 of them on the ship. So, again, I don't really know if that's good, but certainly seems like a lot. Certainly seems like a lot of guns. Quadruple 45 millimeter autocannons. So I don't know if that's good, but if it is, then you're in for a treat. Okay, so reading this also strikes me as a ship that will be good for flanking. It seems like something that's a little bit faster, and it says that these cannons aren't necessarily good for penetrating super heavily armored opponents, which I don't know how often. I assume this is blue water. I know there's coastal and blue water fleets, but I assume this is blue water, and the way that they're describing this is that it's going to be something that's used as a fast-moving ship to hit other ships from the side or in weak spots, so something else to keep in mind. And one more quick disclaimer before we wrap up here. Again, if you've never played a Warthunder event before, they are difficult, to say the least, to complete within the amount of time that you're given. You're going to have to dedicate a lot of time to just playing Warthunder. Me, for one, it's probably going to be like right home from work, eat food, and then play Warthunder for a few hours. I don't think it'll be too bad. Big recommendation for playing this for air players who are going for the plane: use strike aircraft and hit ground targets. I see so many people skip this, and it's great. Like, I'll be on a team where if I had just played to like kill plane targets, I would have gotten maybe 1,000 score. I can up that to, if I have a good match in my SU or my A10, I've had 5,000-6,000 score games just by, and that's sometimes without even shooting down aircraft. That's just hitting ground targets. Light pillboxes, medium tanks. Those are the 2 that you want to go for. You really want to hit those. Great way to just boost your. I mean, you can do that even on like an okay game. You're getting like 2,000 score game, which is, and at 9.7 you're going to get the modifier. So who knows? That might be a crazy game, but strike aircraft for sure to grind this event, because you're going to be able to get so much score than you would be able to playing just attacker aircraft and trying to shoot down other planes. Something to make the grind a little bit easier for you guys, and my recommendation as to how to play this, because that's how I've played the previous 2 events. But yeah, again, if you don't have a lot of time, and make sure you look at the dates. Let's look at the dates here real quick so that everybody knows. The 6th of April to the 17th. If you don't have the time to dedicate to doing this, because I think it's every day you're gonna be able to get more materials. So if you don't have the time to dedicate to it, I would not attempt to do it unless you're planning on spending money, which you can also do if that's your thing. You can spend money to get the materials to build all this stuff, or you can just buy it on the market at the end when somebody else. If you're going to buy this, I would recommend waiting until. So what's going to happen is there's going to be some that hit the market for absurdly high prices. Some of these vehicles, maybe some people buy them. There's usually a couple whales waiting around to pay a bunch of money to get access to these vehicles first. But then what's going to happen is the market is going to become very oversaturated with these vehicles, and the price is going to come way down, and it's going to get down to something below what people should be paying for it. So you might end up finding some of these vehicles for like $20 at some point when it's at a real low point. So if you want to just skip all this grind nonsense and just buy it, look for maybe a day or two or three after these vehicles first start coming out in real numbers, and that'll be your time to strike. The price will get real low, and you'll find a good time to buy it. You don't want to wait too long because the price will come back up. It'll stabilize, so try to find that sweet spot in there a few days after these vehicles come out, somewhere in that time frame. And yeah, I think that about sums it up, or at least what I think I need to cover. So if you have anything that you want me to talk about, recommendations on how to play it, or I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of gameplay, so that'll be going up. You guys can see how I'm playing and how things are working out for me. Tell me how you plan to play it. Let me know down in the comments how you plan to play this, or if you're planning to play it, or if you think I'm an idiot for trying to play a Warthunder event. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the battlefield. Enjoy, everybody. Enjoy the soul-crushing grind of the Repair Factory event, if you're playing it. If you're not, you're smart, and good for you for not being a fucking idiot like me. Enjoy, boys.